First, let me tell you, I'm really honored to be speaking in front of truly leaders when it comes to security and innovators in security. And I'm going to address how this security is truly linked to Vision 2030 and what sort of opportunities we can all come out with Vision 2030 and how security plays vital roles when it comes to Vision 2030. But let me state that there's been always not confusion, but interlink between what is defense and security. And I think truly the terms are intermixed. Let me ask a question just. If I ask the audience today, what is security? What's the definition of security? If I ask 10 of you, I can assure you I'll have 10 different answers. Security does mean different things to different people. If we look at the real past, security to a shop owner could be just making sure that no one come and steal something from his shop, that whatever investment he put in his shop is secure. If you look at a bank, their security is very different. If you look at a mother who have kids who go to school, from her perspective, security is very different. I looked at the definition in Google of what is security. And in my view, it was one of the most wrong definitions I've ever seen. It says it's the state of being free from danger or threats. Is there such a thing these days? If we are realistic, there's absolutely no way. I think the definition is totally misleading. The minute any of us feel free state of being under threats or dangers, then there's no security. This will never happen. And this goes for all sorts of things. I used to lead one of the multinational defense companies in the world, and it's in the US. And every time we wanted to speak, I used to travel at least once a month to the US purely to attend one meeting. It could be 2 hour meeting and come back. And it was truly exhausting to continue to travel this way. So I just said, let's have secure communications, video conferencing, and this was before COVID. And I made sure I speak with one of the most leading US video conferencing company in ensuring that the video conferencing is secure. And when I was speaking with the chairman and CEO of that defense company, he said, Walid, there is nothing secure. And I said, but this is a US world leader when it comes to video conferencing. Walid, nothing is secure. And honestly, I ask all of you to keep that in mind. The minute you think you've done something that eliminates threats or dangers, then you are insecure. You create threats by having that thought. So just keep that in mind. The other thing, just to show you how things are evolving. 20 years ago, 25 years ago, when I was again working with multinational defense company, when they came to Saudi and they want to set up, they said, we are a defense and security company. And I immediately said, no. In Arabic, don't say security, because security to me then was purely the very poor, really good people who just stand up, open the gate, close the gate, make sure you have the right ID before you come in and go out, and just put bricks. In Arabic, it's called al-amn. Just and the mindset was this is security, just ensuring that any sites there are bricks and walls to protect from others to enter in. So I said, look, defense is a sexy word. Just keep the word defense in Arabic, but let's not call it security. But if we think about it, security in the Middle East have always carried weight, whether it's geopolitical, infrastructure, physical, cultural, financial, well-being, and the list goes on and on. I think what we need to be aware of with the evolving threats and technology, in the evolvement of technology, what's easy to do is physical security. That's easy. Things you can see, it's a lot easier to take the right action to protect. But let me ask you, what about things that we don't see, specifically threats that you cannot see or danger that you cannot see? I'm well known to ask some stupid question. Let me ask a stupid question now. How many of you use ChatGPT or DeepSeek or other AI platforms? And I think the vast majority will raise their hands. I can assure you there are employees in your organizations who are uploading contractual documents and asking ChatGPT to review them. I can assure you there are people in your organization who are uploading classified contractual deals, legal agreements, and they're checking what the answer is and what's the reviews out. Just imagine that all those sorts of information are leaked and they became public. I've always worked in defense organizations, and the biggest nightmare is leakage of information because the only customer I have is Ministry of Defense anyway. And any contract with Ministry of Defense, generally speaking, is classified and top secret. What are you doing? What action are you taking to ensure that the information of your organizations are secure? But I'm not talking only about ChatGPT. I'm talking about social medias. I'll give you a very simple example. Again, I've been working in defense company. We had a classified project, but we just had a model of a weapon system, put it in a room. 2 weeks later, we saw that this model was all over the internet. When we checked, we looked at cameras and what have you, and actually it was a picture of someone doing like this in front of this weapon system. And it was the cleaner. He went in, cleaned after hours, just took a picture, sent it to his wife. His wife showed it to the kids. The kids put it on social media and said, look where my dad is working. And it just spread. The dangers with this is our competitors start to know who we are working with. Social media. So just again, just awareness. But another threat is with autonomous when it comes to things you don't see. The future is no doubt in my mind is all about autonomy. We will soon have autonomous car driving by themselves. We'll have autonomous aircrafts flying by themselves. You just give them the order, they'll go and do. We'll have autonomous ships and boats going on the sea by themselves. Are those secured really? I can assure you, I've been speaking with companies who are starting to do humanoid robots who will be an essential part of factories, producing things and working with people. Those have the mind of their own. How are you going to protect? All I'm saying, the threats is with things you're not seeing or we're not going to see and we're not going to be able to feel. So how to combat this and ensure that you're ahead and you can put the right protection and measures is the challenge. Let's focus a little bit on Saudi Arabia. Vision 2030. I really don't call it Vision 2030 anymore. I call it Reality 2030. I'll give a very simple example. I'm from Al Ula. And just 10 years ago or 8 years ago, if I tell a Saudi colleague of mine, I'm from Al Ula, he'll start to ask, where is it exactly in the map? Where is it north, south, east of Saudi, and so on? Now I say Al Ula to anyone, really international, and it's in the international map. It's people knows about it. This is a very simple example. But let's look at the giga projects that are going on now. To name them, we don't have enough time to name them. There's plenty and plenty. Dar'iyya, Giddiya, Red Sea Development, NEOM, Expo 2030 when it comes to event, World Cup. I was with people just 2 days ago, and they said there's at least 140 major events will take place in the kingdom from now till 2030. When I say major, I'm not talking a party or something. I'm talking things like Expo 2030, World Cup 2034, and so on. 140 at least major events. What does this mean to leaders like you? Opportunities, genuine opportunities when it comes to securities. I know I'm going to be a bit selfish as a businessman and say most of the time we look at security as of absolutely essential things in any organization, but we look at it as a cost center. I think you as leaders should look at security as a profit center. You, I'm sure, represent businesses. I know some of you are customers, but again, you can look at security as a profit center rather than just a cost center. What do you have to focus on? Human capital, processes, and in my view, the most important is mindset. Why I say human capital? There's lots of statistics about cyber attacks in Middle East and specifically in Saudi. It's one of the highest globally. Why? All I can say, it's awareness. I spoke with many CEOs of big companies in the kingdom, and genuinely the CEO didn't know much about cybersecurity. And I'm sorry, I'm not talking 1 year ago, 2 years ago. I'm talking maybe more of 8, 9 years ago, and didn't think it will ever happen to his organization. And that's the real dangers. The minute you start to believe it's not going to happen to me, it just happens to other, that's where the real threats are. But let's look at the opportunities that coming up with all the giga project that's going on, and the importance of ensuring all those events I mentioned are well secured, really well secured. We can never ever eliminate threats or dangers, but what we can do is minimize them. In order to do so, I think there's two words I'm going to use: collaboration and innovation. If you don't collaborate, I can assure you, it will not help in ensuring that there are proper securities around all those events or all about those giga projects. Collaboration is about sharing information, ensuring that if you face the threat, I don't think you should be shy about telling your colleagues, telling other companies about the threats you faced and how the attack was, because this will help them and will help you later when they face something similar. In closing remarks, I'll say two things really. One, I'm really proud that I graduated from University of South Florida, who are sponsors here. So please send your kids there. It's an amazing university. Number two, it's a statement I really thought long and hard about. Insecurity thrives when you think in silos and when you think in silence. But progress thrives when you collaborate and innovate together. Thank you very much.